Hi everybody, Happy New Year. I'm Retallick of the Law of Attraction Club, and this video is all about stepping into the new year. You'll hear Terah in this video talking about this subject that of course is on our minds right now in this season, and that is what's coming out ahead of us, what's coming up in this trail as we move through this year now. And you'll hear some really interesting thoughts about, that I've heard for the first time, about who they are, descriptions of who we are, and how we create everything we do. And you'll also hear the two big questions that you need to answer in order to change direction, in order to change things and make a difference in 2012. I'll mention also briefly here, we've got a 12-month program starting now in January, that runs through 2012. Just say this: fantastic results, really powerful, daily contact, get your questions answered, get support, help, practice new habits. If you can find better value anywhere else, grab it, because this is dynamite. If you click the link here in the description, you'll read all about it. Meanwhile, here's Terah. Happy New Year. Is the feeling of joy, of potential, of new beginnings evoked by those words still with you? Or is it starting to fade as you slide towards that seemingly inevitable life as usual stuff? Well, stop. Our goal for you at the end of this year is to have you say, "Oh my God, what a year. This stuff works." In this video, we're first going to remind you about the way things are, who you are and what you're doing here. Then we're going to get into the two big questions you need to know the answers to if you're going to change your life. There may be some of you who do not understand how you can have it all. You may believe there's no point heading towards inevitable disappointment by thinking about things you can never have. Well, we submit there is a point to it. If you can suspend disbelief for a while, if you will indulge yourself on a small journey with us here, then you will find you can get to a place of new discovery. We're not asking you for an act of faith. We are suggesting you try something new and then trust how you feel about it. Whatever your starting point, it is no accident that you are here. You didn't just stumble upon this. This is a match to who you are. We'll come back to this again, but let's start with these ideas. You are a part of Source, with all the power of Source to create galaxies. You chose some limitations as part of this game, but your power remains unlimited. If you're aware of something, you're creating it. If you're experiencing something, you chose it. If you wish to experience something different, choose differently. You create more of what you like by appreciating what you like. You create more of what you want by imagining what you want and expecting it. There is nothing you cannot be, do, or have, and nothing you cannot change. We see many of you beginning to understand the way it all works, the logic starting to sink in. Then it seems that you keep on discovering ways in which you have it all backwards. For example, many of you think of yourselves somehow as lowly beings and us as exalted beings. Some of you think of your human existence as a trial from which you must emerge as worthy of graduating. And once you've graduated, then you can hang out with us, and all is perfect and finished and complete. Well, let's go back to the origins of everything and see if we can open up a more complete understanding of who you are and what you are doing. We cannot really say in the beginning, because where we are there is no time and therefore no beginnings. But at the origin of everything is all that is, or God, or oneness. Let's call it Source. Everything is a part of Source. Think of it as white light. Even as white light has no color, so Source has no intentions or purposes or desires. It has no opinions on what you should or should not be doing. It makes no judgments of good or bad about you or anything else. It just is. It is pure, positive energy. Just as white light has an infinity of components, the colors of the rainbow, so Source has its components. You are a component of Source like a color, say blue. We are also a component, say yellow. You and we are in one way different, and yet in every other way we are the same. Between us and beyond us in each direction there are an infinite number of other entities. Each of them is slightly different, and yet we are all very much the same. We are all part of Source. None or higher or lower, more exalted or more powerful. We are just different colors in the spectrum. It is in these parts that we have different intentions and desires. In fact, it is our different intentions that define us, or perhaps even more accurately, it is our different intentions that create us out of the all-encompassing everything of Source. These individuated intentions cause us to be, and from that being place of consciousness we have desires and make choices. Those choices lead to experiences, and from those new desires are born and new choices are made. Nothing is dictated, nothing is supposed to be. We are all of us, in every instant, always at choice. As you make choices, so you set your point of attraction. From that set point, everything that is a match and nothing that is not a match flows into your experience. We are in your experience right now as you read this because we are a match to you. And you are in our experience because you are a match to us. Even as a sculptor creates by shaping the clay, can you see that out of a pool of infinite possibilities you are creating us and everything else in your world? You, yes, just you, not them with you or us with you, just you alone, are defining how your physical world is. You are defining who is in it with you and how they will act. Second by second you are creating and recreating it all. Time and gravity and earth and sun and planets and stars and galaxies. Your past and X million years of history, your present and your future. Atoms and molecules and mountains and rivers and buildings and roads and countries and cities and people and governments and plants and animals. You are also defining what your non-physical world is. You are defining what we are like and how we act. You give us names like Terah or Abraham or Metatron or Theos or Bashar or Michael or Sophia or Christ or Holy Ghost. Or you describe us more generally as higher self or inner being or guardian angel or ascended master or spirit guide. You tend to think of us as fixtures, as something constant. But it is by your beliefs and expectations that you create the personality or conscious entity you experience. Nothing is fixed. Everything is changeable. We are just colors like you. You made the choice of life on earth. It is not a lesser choice than our choice. It is simply different. You chose the shape of the game with some limitations to your perceptive abilities. You knew of the possibility that you could forget who you were, that you could end up pinching yourself off somewhat from Source. You also knew the potential for glorious discovery and adventure and fun, and that is why you chose as you did. You are on the leading edge of creation. Yours is not a lesser game. Yours is simply a different game, and a delicious one it is. So once again, remember these things this year. You are a part of Source with all the power of Source to create galaxies. You chose some limitations as a part of this game, but your power remains unlimited. If you're aware of something, you're creating it. If you're experiencing something, you chose it. If you wish to experience something different, choose differently. You create more of what you like by appreciating what you like. You create more of what you want by imagining what you want and expecting it. There is nothing you cannot be, do or have, and nothing you cannot change. If you're interested in knowing more about the nature of things, there is much, much more that can be said, and we encourage you to explore the other resources in this community. But for now, let's head to the nuts and bolts of how to put some real substance into those 3 words: Happy New Year. We don't suggest, as some do, that you review the past year or any of your pasts. What you think of as past has no relevance whatsoever except for one thing. It shows you clearly what you expect from life, consciously and subconsciously, and most of it is subconscious. If you want to know what you've been expecting, look around you. Would you like to change that? Is this year going to be the year you step through that door called new possibilities? Well, here's the 2 really important questions. What do you want now? And how do you get to the place of expecting it? What do you want? This first question seems really simple, does it not? And yet we see many of you struggling to find any answers beyond a few things going a little better. In fact, most of you have spent a lifetime training yourself to lower your expectations, and you've succeeded to the point that you've forgotten how to dream. So let's spend some time on this first important question. You need to find ways of opening up to new answers. Here are some suggestions. Take some time right now. After each of these, hit the pause button. Write down or type your thoughts in response to these. And if at any time you feel an attack of the yes buts coming on, just stop. Acknowledge it, see it, let it go, move on. It's not relevant here. We'll deal with all of that later in question 2. Try this question. What do you want more of? Think of the times in your past when you've really achieved something, or when you've really enjoyed something. What would it be like to have more of that? What if your life was filled with experiences like that? Try this one. What could you let yourself really, really want? What were your childhood dreams? Let your mind go beyond the immediate stuff. Let it go deep. Get into that huge storehouse of desires that's back there. It may be a bit musty and dark because you haven't been there much. Open the doors and windows. Let some light in here. Walk the aisles. Browse through it. Rediscover all those wonderful ideas you've stored away. Play with them. Write them down. What if there were no limits? What if your monthly guaranteed income for life was X? Fill in an outrageous amount for you. What would you do now this year? Now get beyond that immediate same as but better place. Think differently. You are now living a lifestyle that's completely changed. Get into it. Be in it. Get used to it. Describe it. What if there were really no limits? Let's get outrageous here. What if you could play with the rules? What if time was malleable? What if you could defy gravity at will? What if you could travel instantly to any place you wanted to be? What if you could? Whatever. We're offering these quantum leap suggestions here, not because they should be on your immediate list, but we want you to take down the fences. And to help you do that, we want you to feel what it's like to be in a world where there are no fences. Get out there and roam around. Now, what do you want for this year? Take some of those ideas from above. Not the quantum leaps perhaps, but design for yourself a truly fabulous year. What would have you looking back and saying, "Oh my God, what a year"? Get it down. Good. Now you've accomplished step 1. Of course, none of this is cast in stone. You are always at choice, and new desires will inevitably crash the party. But here is your starting point, a vision for what might be. Step 2, is creating the expectation, consciously and subconsciously, that this will occur. So, how do you get to the place of expecting it? Well, firstly, when you are truly in alignment, manifestation is immediate. Alignment is when your conscious expectations and your subconscious expectations are pulling in the same direction. The story is really simple, but as you have perhaps discovered, change may sometimes be not quite so easy. Firstly, because it's difficult to know what's in those subconscious expectations until the results show up. And secondly, because it can take some time to teach your subconscious the new story. But here's the important part. This is the task. It's not about getting into action and struggle. It's all about what you think. Thoughts create. Actions do not. Actions serve only to help you think or believe a certain outcome will occur. But it occurs because of the belief and the resulting expectation, not the action. So creating what you want in life is all about choosing to expect it consciously. Conventional wisdom might suggest perhaps that you need to be realistic in your expectations. We agree. But of course now we're going to redefine realistic. It is not looking at the facts and deciding what is feasible or logical. Everything is possible, feasible and logical because you are the creator of it all. So the first step in being realistic is a conscious decision about what will be. Get an image of it and get into the feeling place of being there. Now think, do you really expect it? If something feels not quite clicked into place, then you have two things you can do. Firstly, you can do some subconscious retraining by whatever process works for you. In this community, many have had great success with the letting go process. Secondly, you can simply say to hell with all those processes, take a stand with yourself and simply choose to expect it. Simply choose to expect it. Ultimately, what is needed is to hold the vision of what is wanted. Be confident that you are creating what you want as you revel in the feeling of having it. Spend time in that thought. Do not tolerate feeling negative because in that place and in those moments you are creating what you do not want. Do whatever it takes to get to that place of positive expectation. Nothing is more important. Practice it daily. So let us come around now to where we started. Have a happy new year. Happy because you are a joy-seeking being and happiness is your natural state. You came to this game for the fun of it. New, because every moment is a new beginning. Let's see a new you from this day forward, discovering your power as creator of your world. Year, because some of this change process may take a little time. Give yourselves time and stay relaxed about all of this, but stay focused. And in 12 months, oh my God, this stuff works. So that's it. If you'd like a chance to step into a new year in a really different way here, if you're looking to make a real difference in your life, then as I said, we have a 12-month program running here, which is fantastic value, great results, rave reviews about it. Click the link here, you'll see a description of it. And we'd love to have you join us because it's just a fun place to be. It's a daily contact thing, and it's a chance to get your questions answered, have your hand held, and really join a community and get support through all of this. A chance to get new habits, really make a difference. Enough said. See you soon.